You share deodorant?
If someone asked, I wouldn't care.
Chapstick's worse than sharing deodorant.
I think chapstick's better.
I think that's worse. Sharing deodorant.
I think we should like lead the rundown.
No, sharing chapstick's worse than sharing deodorant.
I saw a commercial last night. Did you know that? This isn't a guy thing.
You probably
right?
share toilet paper or you don't use it.
They showed a commercial with women deodorant for privates. Huh. That's not a thing, right?
It's a men? Machine?
It was a commercial.
Like, are you asking if it's a thing for men?
It's definitely not a thing for men.
I haven't, not that I've noticed. I don't think. Throw a little baby powder down there here and there. Keep a little dry.
Not that you've noticed a lot of guys here.
I mean, I've never noticed that, like, walking through the toiletry aisle at Target, like ball deodorant, I don't think.
Yeah, I was quite surprised.
Actually, is it Manscaped? Don't they have like a ball toner? I'm pretty sure they do.
What's a toner?
It says that on the bottle. It's a little ball. I'm pretty like a rolling ball. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know. We can do the.
I would picture something's like a ball koozie where you just dip the balls in and like.
Oh, and like that way?
Yeah.
You never.
Doing that every day?
I feel like we got something here right now that it's not already in the marketplace.
Yeah. All right. Keep all this in. Barstool Rundown, not a Mensa meeting. Thank you, John Rich. What a cast he's organized for today. January 16th, the Rundown is brought to you by SimpliSafe. You're taking offense to the Mensa thing. Don't worry about it. Shout out Joey Langone, an actual member of Mensa. He always lets me know that. Now that we've wrapped, he is apparently. He gets the email. No, actually, Joey Langone signed up for the email list. I don't know if he's.
Also, both of you, which is embarrassing for you, are the type of people who think you can get into Mensa without ever being able to get into Mensa.
No, I couldn't.
You couldn't?
What's your IQ, Steven?
I don't know.
What do you think it is? What would you guess?
Probably not that high. I know about like 2 subjects.
I guess mine's like 170, 180.
I don't even know if that's good.
No, that's just so outrageously high. I think Einstein was like 160.
Street smarts.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying mine are high?
Low.
You've never even been on the street, Steven.
In the first season of Surviving Barstool, where you weren't allowed to leave the building, somehow you wound up outside shoeless.
Subconsciously, yes.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with street smarts?
You got locked out.
And I was already eliminated, so it's not like I couldn't leave the building. They tried to keep me there.
9 times 8. 3.
72.
2. Okay. Checks out.
I won that contest. I beat Tommy Smokes by like a quarter of a second on lowering the bar.
16 times 16.
It's 36.
Yeah, shut up. All right, get back to me after this ad read. It's brought to you by SimpliSafe. Now that we've wrapped up 2023, we're ushering into the next year. It's the perfect time to reflect on what matters most. The people that you love. Not you guys, but if you're in my house, I'd protect you. SimpliSafe this year. We're going to resolve to keep everyone safer with the award-winning SimpliSafe system named the best home security of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. They trust SimpliSafe. I trust SimpliSafe. I'm my own SimpliSafe user. I got the app on my phone. Excellent in and out keypad. Very easy to use. The app is great too. They have new 24/7 live guard protection, monitoring agents that actually see, speak to, and confront intruders in your home. I'm not trying to do that, so it'd be great if they could do that. If that ever happened, hopefully not. Available from SimpliSafe, can actually stop crime in real time. 24/7 monitoring is highly affordable, costing less than $1 per day. Half the price of traditional home security, and SimpliSafe prioritizes your privacy. That's why indoor security cameras are only in the market with physical privacy shutters to ensure your privacy 24/7. Satisfaction is guaranteed. Try SimpliSafe for 60 days risk-free. If you don't love it, return your system for a full refund. Keep your home and your family safer than ever in the new year. And as a viewer or listener of the Rundown, you can save 20% on your new system with a fast protection plan by using SimpliSafe.com/rundown. Customize your system in just minutes at SimpliSafe.com/rundown. There is no safe like SimpliSafe.
True story. I thought it was going to be good enough when my wife and I bought a house to keep a bat under the bed as our security system. That is not right. Get safe, SimpliSafe.
Is there a story behind this?
No, that was a story.
You didn't lose a fight to like a guy trying to attack your family and when he was unarmed and you had a baseball bat?
We went through the hypothetical action of what would happen if somebody actually came in, and I said I was going to grab the bat, and I lost that argument.
Yeah.
So we got SimpliSafe, and it's a lot
You
better.
want to know what I have next to my bed? A katana.
What's that?
A Japanese sword.
You Sean Taylor?
Yeah.
That is, yeah, I mean, that's a, well,
He lost.
yeah, let's probably not get into that one.
But he had like a machete under the...
Speaking of teams that lost, the Philadelphia Eagles. You flew all the way here.
player who got murdered, unfortunately, and now you're comparing it to the Eagles, which is not right, but go ahead.
Just seamless transition. 32-9. Not too much of a game. Let's actually start with Dave, since he was a neutral observer of it. What were your thoughts on the game? Jalen Hurts, a little bit of a rough game.
So
Baker, 3 touchdowns.
I thought that, so they started the season 10-1, correct? And
Yes.
then 1-6 to wrap up the season. I thought that 1-6 stretch was just more like they're coasting, they're going to turn out. I bet the Eagles heavy last night. They looked like a bag of shit. I am really weirdly happy I was telling you this beforehand. I like Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
I want him to do well. He seems like a really, really good dude. You know, he just does his job. I just won't want him to be quarterback for my team. Like, I know he won last night. He beat the Eagles, who a lot of people said were the favorite in the NFC. He is what he is. Like, this is the pinnacle of his. We'll see, though. I hope I'm wrong.
We'll see.
If he rattled off a Super Bowl, that'd be great for him.
Yeah. Smitty, thoughts on last night?
Congratulations, Steven.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're going to very much enjoy the Bucs losing by 2 scores or more in Detroit. Or
6-point spread.
Yeah, or if they miraculously win in Motown for some reason, I'm sure you're going to destroy just not even having a franchise anymore, going into San Francisco, getting absolutely dick swiped. Yeah, good luck with that. This game, from an Eagles fan's perspective, wasn't Eagles-Bucs. It just wasn't. Congrats. Like, you guys played the game. This is the Eagles since 7 weeks ago being the worst team in the NFL, to the point where we're having the discussion. Have you guys ever seen in the history of sports, the 4 major sports, a team be that on paper dominant, not suffer a real season-ending injury? Like, Hurts didn't go down. The defense had some problems, of course.
Sure.
But to go from that dominance to 1-6 and being legitimately the worst team in the league. The Commanders had a worse record, but the Eagles were the worst team in the league. They couldn't stop anybody, and their offense went from being a powerful juggernaut scoring 30 points a game like that to not even be able to move the ball. Have you ever seen that?
No.
In any sport?
I don't know that I have on this extreme. I really don't know that I have.
What is the moment where it all turned?
49ers game. See, they were 10-1, but they weren't really 10-1. They were more realistically 8-3. Probably 7-4. Like, they got lucky during some games. There were 4 straight games where they were down by 10 at halftime.
Okay.
And they ended up winning. Like, you're not a good football team.
Yeah.
And if that's going to catch up to you. The 49ers came into Philly, and yeah, the 49ers didn't play for 10 days, and the Eagles played like 3 games in 14 days. That ended their season. They just got emasculated and eviscerated against the 49ers, and they just didn't recover.
What's
for
next
whatever
for
reason.
them, though?
Yeah.
Actually, for both.
It's coaching.
Obviously,
Well,
like,
Jason Kelce already announced his retirement, or he told his teammates. Schefter broke it this morning.
Yeah.
He's done.
Which is, I mean, that's expected. You saw the documentary. He couldn't really, like, move after the season last year. So enjoy your retirement, Jason. 3 kids. He's got a huge career after football, obviously, doing whatever he wants to do. And we were talking about it. You disagreed, but he's arguably the greatest Eagle of all time.
I don't know if I disagreed. I was more shocked.
Yeah. It's between him, Chuck Manderick, and Brian Dawkins.
It's because he doesn't play a skill position.
Yeah.
Shocked. That's what it is. But when I hate this because every time you talk about like the GOAT in a sport, in any other sport, most of them they play offense, defense. Like in football, you're not touching the ball if you're a lineman. So can you really be considered an all-time great? It's weird. Gray area.
He's been there since 2011.
No, of course,
He's made
of
what?
course. That's
6 all-pro teams.
He's an all-time fucking great offensive lineman. But it's like he's an offensive lineman. That's why I get his shock.
No, not necessarily. Just like, you know, if I'm looking at this objectively, he's what, right now you're at best second best offensive line, maybe third right now. And of course he's, you know, end of his career.
30,
but, you know.
40, right?
He's 36.
All right, I thought he was.
He's still objectively top 3 center in the game. Like, he's still performing, and that's a compliment to Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson that you like, or Landon Dixon that you. I mean, the Eagles' offensive line is stacked, and that's the most frustrating thing about the Eagles. The talent, specifically in the offense, is there. Like, yeah, they didn't have A.J. Brown last night. That's true, but they had him for the last 7 weeks. What happened to A.J. Brown getting 150 yards a pop in an NFL record 6 games to Dick? Like, what happened there? Like, why did things go so far awry offensively for this team? Why is there no mojo? People are saying Hurts has got more banged up than
his finger was
horrible. I'm talking throughout the season.
Giants.
Like, this is not last night in a vacuum. This has been over the past 7 weeks. And we said either the Eagles better give us glory, meaning come back to the form that they were at the beginning of the year last year, at the end of Sirianni's first year, or show us mercy and just get blown out and end it. And they showed us mercy. And there's no way in my mind Sirianni can survive this because the collapse was just too much. It just was. And this is a guy that made the playoffs his first year, made the Super Bowl his second year, made the playoffs his third year, and he could be out of a job? That's unheard of.
Has he won Coach of the Year? No. But, I mean, yeah, obviously that resume is extremely impressive. Made the playoffs this year, ending season in very disappointing fashion. He just said he would fire.
It's unique. I would. The locker room is completely lost. The only way
of fan bases.
The only way he survives is if they publicly just basically blame losing Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon, the coordinators, and get a whole new coaching staff under him, kind of what the Bears have done. That's the only way.
Do. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know if the right thing. It's
you
weird.
Gotta fucking clean house. You go no half measures. You either. That's what the Bears perpetually do. Is just half-ass everything.
But they got rid of Doug Peterson, what, 2 or 3 years after a Super Bowl? That was a pretty quick hook. Looking back on it. The one thing about the Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie, since he hired Ray Rhodes, hired Andy Reid, Chip Kelly, Doug Peterson, and Nick Sirianni, which on paper, I mean, even though Chip was a disaster in the end, not bad.
The beginning was great.
Yeah, that's a good run.
But with Howie there, since Chip, they're hiring puppets. So they hired Doug Peterson, who had no looks anywhere else. They hired Nick Sirianni, who came from nowhere. Like, do you expect like a Belichick to come in and to take orders under Howie Roseman?
I've told this story a couple times when.
Like, what are you replacing Sirianni with?
Oh,
what's your hope?
I mean, Harbaugh's not that stupid to come here and take orders from.
You think? Yeah.
I mean, Vrabel would be a good identity for the city of Philadelphia. I would love that. But again, working under Howie, it's tough. It's a unique situation.
You seem very polarized on Howie as a whole.
100%.
Like, well, where are you today? It sounds like you fucking hate him right now.
No, I don't hate him. I think I did hate him. He started as GM in 2010. He constructed the dream team. He survived now what's going to be 4 coaching changes. Like, he's taken a long time to, quote, get his feet wet in the game, and is a salary cap master and has done better drafting in the last couple of years, but he has had some wild miscues and misses. I mean, Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson, that's like the most famous, but even this year, like, he'll do a lot to make splashes, like trading for A.J. Brown or Kevin Byard in midseason. But, I mean, hey, Howie, everything else on defense is pretty much decimated. There's no depth outside the defensive line. None.
What's your cap situation look like heading into the offseason?
I mean, they're not going to be able to go out and sign like a Mahomes, but like they'll always be able to wiggle because he is good at that. But there was nothing on defense. Nothing. And even re-signing Bradbury and bringing Slade back, they fell off the map. Completely.
Bradbury was pretty fucking bad.
Really bad.
He was horrible.
He was a Sante Samuel level of not wanting to tackle last night.
He was.
I've never seen anything like it.
So the final score was 32-9. Baker 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. But yeah, even that Trey Palmer touchdown, the 56-yard or whatever, like he was wrapped up and then just.
And he threw it off his back foot, a Hail Mary to Godwin too.
Yeah,
it's like Baker played. Baker, looking at Baker's stats all year, like actually surprised me. Looking at them, I think he's an above average quarterback this year. The Bucs actually played well enough where they surprised me yesterday. I didn't think they were as bad as I
thought that game was going to be a blowout.
But the Eagles, like the Eagles aren't beating anybody right now in the NFL.
Yeah,
nobody.
So just want to say this about the Bucs. Obviously, a big win last night. The score, not super indicative of the game. It was a closer game until really the safety, I think, kind of.
I don't know that it was. That the Bucs.
I mean, it's a 7-point game for a long time.
It was closer. The score was closer than I thought the game looked.
Yes, agreed.
Well, that's because the Bucs dropped 86
passes. One of them touchdown to Mike Evans. Yes.
It legitimately could have been 24-3 at one point.
Yes.
Instead, it was 16-3.
Yes. So what I will say as the Bucs representative at this company, don't sleep on this team. This is a good team. 6-point underdogs going to Detroit. Detroit kicked the shit out of us in our home stadium. I wanted to play Detroit. I did not want any part of the Rams. Sean McVay dominates Todd Bowles whenever they play. Detroit is who I want. We got Detroit. I'm looking forward to the Rams. Detroit is a really good team. They have an awesome home field advantage. I mean, that team hadn't won a playoff game in, was it 24 years, 23 years, something like that. Their fan base is going to be
playoff
amped
win
up.
Since the 50s.
Yes, their fan base is going to be amped up. It's going to be a fun game on Sunday. I'm very much looking forward to it.
There you go. There's your guy.
See you Sunday. Yeah, see you Sunday. We will. Yesterday, also, Josh Allen and the Bills roll through the Steelers. Any specific thoughts on that game? It wasn't a very entertaining game. Mason Rudolph.
I missed it, honestly. I was at Medieval Times. So.
Why were you at Medieval Times?
Oh, it was Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah. Celebrating MLK J Day at Medieval Times, yeah.
Yeah? All right. Who were you there with?
Eddie.
Yeah, all right. Boys, what'd you do at Medieval Times? You have a nice turkey leg? Is that what they have there?
I did, yeah. It was a roasted dragon, but yeah, we had food.
That's not real, right?
Dragon blood.
Okay. Okay.
Soup.
I've been to Medieval Times in probably 32 years.
It's been like 25 for me.
Okay. All right. Good time?
Awesome time. Loved it. Had an absolute blast, yeah.
All right,
the story from that game is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean, post-game, they asked him about his contract. I guess he's on the last year of his deal coming up, so he's like what they call lame duck coach. And as soon as they asked that halfway through the sentence, he just walked out. Do you think Tomlin stays in Pittsburgh? Do you think he leaves? I'll start with Dave since you just won the Eagles rant.
I feel like every single coach, no matter what, has a shelf life, no matter how good the years were. At their peak, like Belichick, Mike Tomlin, and I think it's just time. You gotta turn it over in Pittsburgh. It's not working anymore.
You're a moron. He has done more because he's done more with less. He makes the playoffs.
Okay.
He's made how many losing? How many losing?
Pittsburgh, is that the Pittsburgh?
How many losing seasons? How many losing seasons does Mike Tomlin have? How many losing
average
seasons?
right now?
No. How many losing seasons does Mike Tomlin?
Does he have any?
None.
None. Yeah.
None. That level of consistency with that talent pool in Pittsburgh is unheard of. If Mike Tomlin wants to stay, he should be able to stay. And
no, I don't disagree there, but look, every coach has a shelf life. Every locker room culture has a shelf life. Sometimes you just need to turn it over, and it's getting to be the point where the Steelers are no longer like I don't think of the Steelers
I think that's a talent issue. I don't think that's a.
I'm not saying it is a coaching issue. I'm saying that sometimes
like when Andy Reid was quote run out of Philly, he wasn't run out. It just like. It was it. It was like Belichick.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just need to move on and go somewhere else. That's exactly what happened.
I don't think Tomlin's there yet.
They're 9.5-point underdogs going into Buffalo.
Maybe he's not, but he's getting close if he's not.
Bad weather game. They're playing, a top, even though he hasn't had his best season, but he's going against Josh Allen in Buffalo in the playoffs. Like, realistically, they weren't going to win the game. They had Mason Rudolph, who's their third string quarterback. Like, even Kenny Pickett, their first string quarterback, hasn't been great. Without T.J. Watt, their best defensive player. So, yeah, I mean, they were running.
The fact they made the playoffs this year is
remarkable. Yes. Yes. If they have a very good quarterback, if they can have a good system, good team, like, Mike Tomlin is a great. Mike Tomlin, if it was a coaching free agent, we had gobbled up like that.
I'm not saying he wouldn't. I'm not saying he. I'm just saying that like maybe it's getting to be that time where.
So what you're saying
it's best for both parties to look elsewhere for the rest of his career.
So what you're saying is I don't have an answer to this question because I don't know anything about Mike Tomlin or the Steelers, so I'm just going to speak genetically.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. I haven't thought about Mike Tomlin or the Steelers in fucking ever because they're just nothing at this point.
This guy's at fucking medieval times during the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, that was scheduled like weeks ago. The game got moved to yesterday, so we
That's fair.
had shit going on. We like set it up with medieval times.
You should have called Climbing KFC during a Mets game. You could have got Game of Thrones going too. Watch the Dragons.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. Here's a wild stat.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin has been with the Steelers longer than Bill Cowher was there.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's why. I mean, we grew up with Bill Cowher just as the Steelers coach.
Yeah.
Tomlin's been there longer.
Two coaches that I can remember for the Steelers.
Who was the coach before? Chuck Noll.
Okay.
This guy.
You mentioned Dragons. Speaking of Dragons, Bill Belichick, rumored to be interviewing with the Atlanta Falcons. How do we feel about that?
Where's the comparison?
He's just an old fossil.
No.
He was what, 73 years old?
Saban's older than that.
Wait a second. So you're saying what? Dragons were real and fossilized?
Yeah.
Dragons are old. You ever met a young dragon? Checkmate.
But
Is that a Chinese reference?
just because they're from a long time ago doesn't mean they're old when they died or anything.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that dragon might have been like a veal dragon. It might have been a baby dragon that they kept in a cage and wouldn't let it move so the muscles would stay nice and tender.
What dragon?
Making it nice and succulent, and it died making it nice and tasty for me last night.
You think that what you had at medieval times was real dragon?
Why would they market it as anything different?
It's just marketing. It's probably just chocolate sauce.
It was meat.
It was chicken.
No shit, Smitty. They went and got a rotisserie chicken from like the local grocery.
So what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You asked me if I ate with my hands. I said, yeah, I had roast dragon.
Sure didn't.
Because that's what they call it.
I don't know. That transition was batshit. You're talking about dragons and Belichick. You're thinking they're real. You're saying you eat them. Like people are spotting
because
dimes.
That's what
you're
it's
eating
called in
onions.
medieval times.
Mass hysteria.
Nice Seinfeld reference. He didn't get it.
That's good. No, George eats the onion without his glasses.
Okay, he did get it.
Come on.
Where are we?
Bill Belichick, Falcons. Is he a good fit? He's 73 years old.
Bill Belichick will be the Cowboys head coach in 2 weeks.
Cowboys.
That's a better fit.
Yes.
As an Eagles fan, how do you feel about that? Would you be excited about that because you think he's washed, or?
I think it would be similar to when Terry Jones hired Parcells. It's just what it is. Like, it is what
Father Time is undefeated.
More concerned about the Eagles than the Cowboys hiring Belichick.
Smitty just answered correctly. I mean, how long has he got left? If he's coaching the Cowboys, how long is it going to, even if he does rattle off some fucking absurd streak where he wins a couple Super Bowls with them, like how long is he going to last?
He's in his early 70s. Jerry Jones is 140 years old.
How old is Jerry Jones?
140.
He's very old.
85?
Very old. I mean, his balls are hanging on the ground. They're some droopy sacks.
Yeah, so he'll give Bill some vampire blood. Mm-hmm. They'll get it going.
Dragon blood?
Allegedly.
Speaking of balls, how about this 32-year-old chef who cut off his dick and balls and served it to a group of paying customers? Did you see this?
Yeah, it was like a tasting menu or something.
So this doesn't make sense. Or sorry, 22-year-old. You shouldn't be allowed to do that at 22. It's whatever. Castrate
yourself?
Yeah. 22-year-old Japanese chef cooked, then served his dick and balls to paying customers. So I guess he got this surgery. He froze them, then organized a party where he cooked his genitalia and garnished them with mushroom and parsleys for 5 paying dinner guests. The guests paid $220 per meal. Here's what doesn't make sense to me.
So well,
all of this doesn't make sense to me.
But he was looking to cut it off anyway.
I guess 70 people attended the event.
Does this guy got like a shack hog?
That's what I'm saying. Only 5 people ate it. But like, why are you going to this? If you're invited to this, but you don't have to eat, are you attending this event where people are eating it? That's like way too many people watching people eat, in my opinion.
I hate when people watch me eat. I won't do it.
I got nothing. I got nothing. Like, you can't go from the Eagles' future to cutting off your own dick and eating it. Did he try it? That's what I want to know.
I doubt it.
Would you eat your own wang?
No, I mean, I'd probably, like, Rocky Mountain oysters are what, bull's testicles?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, don't you have to test it and make sure it's not undercooked? It's a legitimate question.
No, that's red meat. You could go a nice medium rare on that.
So you're saying
You can't have chicken like undercooked.
I didn't say chicken, I said red meat.
So you can have human testicles undercooked? That's not going to start a problem?
I think you could probably have human testicles raw. I would imagine. Let's look it up. What's Google say?
As my friends I would say, big pause.
I'm pretty sure you could. What are you going to get, salmonella?
Wasn't there a tribe in the Pacific who gets like brain poisoning from eating
Too much
human
mercury?
meat?
Human meat?
Yeah, cannibalism.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm sure that's something.
The Sentinel tribe?
I don't-
I'm sure that's something
don't
you
know
read
if
at some
it's right.
point, but I cannot verify.
I thought that was the problem with cannibalism. Was
That's the problem?
yeah, like brain.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's the problem? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's one of them. Yeah, I mean, this is just an absurd thing. I feel like $220 is not enough money to charge that. You got restaurants that are these, Michelin stars that are charging a couple $100 for a taste. This guy's serving us dick and balls one time only. I feel like $220 is a little light. Expensive dinner for sure.
I'll agree to that.
I want to know what kind of mushrooms you use to, pair it with.
That's true. That's a good point.
Was it nice morel?
Also, how does it get served? Does it get served just like a...
No, he definitely cuts it up.
cake?
I imagine it's like not bologna or sausage. What do you have?
turkey?
No.
Like the little medallions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
those.
probably
You put it on like crackers.
Maybe he puts it through a meat grinder and grinds it into like a ground beef type consistency, and then he makes a little tartare out of it. Some egg yolks.
That could probably be.
couple,
I mean, you could probably make that taste fine.
Yeah.
What's your transition now?
Huge news. Trust the data off the 1-week NBA suspension after a really tough January. Joel Embiid, the pick tonight, over 49.5 combined points, rebounds, assists.
Right.
Had to get out of it. Everybody was thinking it. But yeah, let's move on. Erika steps down from CEO of Barstool.
Hi, I'm walking to work. Remember Dave walks to work? I love Dave walks to work. This will not be anywhere near as entertaining. I am stepping down as the CEO of Barstool. I feel super sad about it. I was just crying on Metro North, just one of the least attractive things imaginable. I wore too much eye makeup for that. But it's been a wild run. I'm so grateful. And I'm feeling sentimental. Like I think back to 2016 and they went through 70 candidates and all that. And I kind of think either nobody wanted the job and I did, or they were stupid enough to not see what it could be. And I thought I could make something of it. And what we made of it is like, it exceeded my wildest expectation, and I'm so proud. We grew the company into something I don't think anybody ever thought possible or probable. I think the expectations or the desire that Barstool would fail were really high, and I think we defied that, and I'm so proud about not just what we built, but we did it our own way, and we did it in our own style, and we did it with our own people and like of our own propulsion, and growing a company 5,000% in revenue over 8 years is awesome, I think. And the audience grew even more than that. So it's kind of a weird thing. I mean, we exited the company twice in the last year. I feel like the work I came here to do is done. I'm so proud of it. Everything I could have ever imagined and wanted to achieve, we did. I feel so good about Dave. I'm so grateful to Dave for giving me a chance in the first place, and I trusted him and I still trust him, and he's the right person to make this a pirate ship. And I think we went around the sun a bunch, and now it's back exactly where it should be, as it should be, and everything I wanted to do here I did, and I learned more than I could ever have possibly imagined, and I gave everything I had. So that's the news. I'm gonna help Dave as long as he needs me. I'm gonna go try to figure out what I wanna go build and do next. I'm gonna get out of the rain in New York, and that's it. So viva!
She started in July 2016, so you were here, were you?
Not full time.
Did you get the email originally, or I mean, you were part of the company?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was sitting at my desk job saying that, and we got an email for a text from Dan, like me, Chief, Ed, Carl, whoever else, saying, hey, Barstool just got bought. We're going to have a new CEO. It's a woman. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's the end of me. See you later. That was my original thought. I mean, Barstool was obviously nowhere near the zoo it is today and the success it is today, but that was my initial thought.
The good zoo and good success, and a lot of it is due to
Erika, of course, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's been your favorite memory? I started, actually signed my paperwork, I think a month after she was hired, and started not long after that. We've all been here a very long time. What's your favorite memory from the Erika phase? Or
specifically with
era?
Erika? So I didn't have a ton of interaction.
No, it could just be like the whole era.
Well, I'll give one with Erika. The first time I ever met her is when we had HQ1, not Milton, obviously, the first HQ in Manhattan.
Yep.
I believe it was the very first Rough and Rowdy ever. Was that Tex? I think it was Tex, right?
I think that was the second one, or was that the
Maybe it was the second one. But
Tex fought and then Tex.
it was one of the first ones. I was in New York visiting my grandparents, my family out there, so I went to the office and watched Rough and Rowdy for a night. And remember how the Chipotle was underneath? That office?
The Chipotle, yes.
I don't know if you were there at the time.
Yes.
So
I was.
there was that bathroom and another bathroom, and I didn't have a hotel or anything, so I had to take a dump. I went downstairs, and in the meantime, while I was in the Chipotle taking a dump, she said, don't tweet out any clips of Rough and Rowdy. Like, it's coming straight from us. Like, don't spoil, tease anything, because pay-per-view, obviously. Right. I missed that conversation because I was down at Chipotle relieving myself. Got upstairs, there was a knockout or something. I tweeted it, and she lost her mind on me. And I had never had an interaction with her ever in my entire life. And I was so apologetic, so afraid. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear it. I was downstairs at Chipotle. That was my first interaction with her, and blossoming relationship ever since.
Great. Nowhere to go but up, yeah.
My first interaction with Erika, my first real interaction, other than like a couple emails back and forth, was Nate decided to do a Nate night and just go at me and started tagging Erika, our brand new CEO, who I've never had a face-to-face conversation with yet.
Wait, you were on Nate at Night? Or?
No, Nate just like went off. He had like a bunch of Shirley Temples and went. This is right before he moved to New York. And
this was the only episode, right? Wasn't it just one episode?
He was going off about me for some reason. See, all the cool kids were in Nantucket having a party. Nate and I were invited. This is right before we all moved and got together. And Nate got hopped up and started attacking me for what I thought was no reason. And then they all started encouraging Nate to do more. And he was tagging Erika in a lot of inflammatory posts my way. And,
this was the blog count thing, right?
It's like start of it.
Okay.
And I was a little scared because I didn't know Erika. I didn't know if she got it. I didn't know if like Nate is just. Well, Nate was trying to kiss ass the new CEO, but I didn't know if like how Erika was going to take it. And she took it like 100% in stride. She got the content right away. And she grew with it. Like, thank you, Erika, for everything over the past, 8 years?
7.5, 8 years, yeah.
That went fast. That went really fast.
Yeah. No, she was great. I started shortly after her. I worked pretty closely with her for several years, especially, I did ad operations before this, and she was very supportive of the move over to content and all that stuff, so I wouldn't be here, in the state, living this life without Erika, so thank you, Erika, for everything. This has been, just taking Barstool to where it was when we were in one.
This office ain't here without
my favorite memory, I actually texted her about this like a couple months ago, was my favorite specifically about any of us Erika memories that I was watching the clip of when Riggs told Dave to check his fucking timestamps because he was like the political blogger, which she mentioned in her email today.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was the whole morning, her and Dave sitting in front of the elevator, just watching people come off the elevator. It's like, why are you here? It's like 11 o'clock. Like, you're just walking in. And then Riggs comes in, obviously very hot. And they're like, where the fuck were you? He's like, I was writing a blog about the Syrian genocide, which nowadays is probably something we couldn't even touch. But just the fact that he was so hot and bothered about it. The fact that Dave and Erika were sitting 2 feet in front of the elevator, so funny to me. So that's probably my favorite memory
Syrian
from that
genocide,
side. Yeah. Now Riggs is fucking playing golf with Tiger Woods and has a cottage on the course of
Pinehurst.
Yeah,
Check
one
the
of the most.
timestamps.
Check your fucking timestamps. Yeah, all-time quote. But yeah, post-show. Anything else you guys got, or we're good?
Just spring training, 28 days. Right, buddy? Oh, and the Sixers are looking good. Oh, and the Flyers are
Embiid,
2
Jokic
points
still.
out of first
Shut
place.
up. Are they actually?
Yeah, they are.
I thought they were
It's
supposed to be like
incredible.
horrible.
They were supposed to be the worst team in the league.
Well,
One of. Torts, baby.
the
Culture.
Bulls are a complete dumpster fire. The Bears have the first overall pick, not because of their doing per se this year. The White Sox should be the worst team in baseball this year. The Cubs haven't done a fucking thing and the Blackhawks are the worst team in hockey. So I think I win.
At what?
Being the biggest loser.
Well, yeah.
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 It's good to be on top. All right, January 16th rundown. Thank you guys for watching. Myself, Stephen Shea, White Sox, Dave Smitty. See you guys.